And this morning's Scramble Flashback is brought to you by Downtown Stillwater.
Mark your calendars for Downtown Stillwater Bike Night. Hi, this is Amy Jo Frazier with Downtown Stillwater, and I'd like to invite you to join us from 6 to 9 p.m. on the first Tuesday of the month. Located at 8th and Main, these family-friendly events offer $1,000 in prizes, live music, and incredible specials. For more information, go to downtownstw.com or follow us on Facebook. Hope to see you in beautiful, historic Downtown Stillwater.
Stillwater's Morning Scramble is 8:05. Steve Daniels and Christy Morrison with Visit Stillwater, and she's getting ready to go to Canada after the rains. Can you say what you're doing in Canada? Because you kind of told me.
I'm going to help Gary Johnson make some presentations to airlines.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're doing a lot of work at the airport, and we're hoping for commercial flights out of town, and so that would be great if we could have that.
Yes, it would. It would change definitely the landscape of what we're able to do and offer. It would be great. We have two huge files. One huge file is all of the business that we haven't been able to bid on or have lost because we don't have a convention center. And the other huge file is ones that are ones that we can't bid on or have lost because we don't have local airline service. So it's just, you work with what you have, and you just have, every community has challenges, but those are two of our major challenges when it comes to visitor development. And I can just tell you from a selfish standpoint, it would be really, really nice not to have to get up at 2:30 to make my flights out of Oklahoma City. That's another 2.5, 3 hours out of your work day, and it's just non-productive, and it just would be nice to be able just to go across town and not have to spend $10 a night for parking or whatever it is. It's not that much, but you know what I mean.
I think he told me, man, I may have my prices wrong. Seems like it was $39 or $69 or something. It wasn't that much. And so we would have flights every day that go to DFW from here, and it'd be that much extra. But that's not very much. I mean, it costs that much almost in gas now to go to Tulsa or Oklahoma City.
The federal reimbursable rate between here and the airport in Oklahoma City is about $74. $76, so it's probably even more to Tulsa because that's a little bit further. So it would be less monetarily, it would be less time. It would just, for a convenience factor, be really awesome.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. And you're going to help with the presentations. Eh?
Yeah. Well, they speak French and English in Edmonton, Alberta. So that'll be interesting.
Bonjour.
Yeah, I'll say hablo un poquito de español. No, I don't know. I don't know any French whatsoever. But when I call the hotels, I'll have to say, "Oh, do you speak English?" Because I was kind of late in the game, I think, going to this, and so I have to stay in a different hotel my first night there as opposed to the rest of the time. So I was calling around trying to find another hotel, and I would continually have to say, "You speak English?" because most of them didn't answer in English. But that's okay.
You'll have an interesting trip anyway. Yeah. So what's going on in Stillwater?
Well, like we were talking earlier, definitely get your tickets to Town and Gown. That performance was absolutely unbelievable. It was fantastic. There's the Walk and Talk series at the Botanic Garden. Of course, our friends at the Wendatorium have all kinds of neat things going on. I think this sounds really interesting. Fizz, Boom, and Read. There's going to be a ventriloquist that's going to have all kinds of critters as well. Just a whole bunch of fun for kids. And like we were talking the other day, the library has something for all age groups all summer long. So I would definitely go on the library's website and see all the events that they have going on. Grandparent University through the Alumni Association's coming up, and we all know that that's hugely popular. In fact, they've had to expand it and make additional days because there's so many people that want to do that. So then, of course, Thursday is the community band concert, as they are on the Thursdays this month.
You don't want to miss those either.
Yeah,
those
fun.
are fantastic.
I always freak out because there's so many more people that I know in it, and I thought I didn't even know they were musically inclined, and there they are performing. So I think that's cool.
And they all know each other, and because when we have any musicians on, all the musicians call each other.
Yes, they do, or they text us. Or I'm not a musician, but I was the marching band photographer for 7 years. Traveled with them, and so most of the people who are in the band, I know a lot of those folks that are in the community band because of being...
It's a tight circle.
It is a very tight circle.
Saturday, our friend Calvin Miller, his congregation, they're having a annual golf tournament, and it's going to be going on at Cimarron Trails. That's coming up this Saturday, starting at 8 o'clock. Tea time begins, registration starts at 7. Tea time begins at 8. I actually went to his service a couple weeks ago, and you know how he seems all mild and mannered and quiet.
He's a teddy bear.
Oh, he is such a teddy bear. But let me tell you what, you are not going to sleep through that service.
So he got you going,
I
huh?
had a blast. Well, Charles Granger that you met
Right.
came with me. He's my intern from Langston University this summer. He's actually co-interning with the Reverend
Right.
Miller and me this summer. And so I need to observe him while he's doing a lot of the filming at the church. So I had a blast. I'll tell you what, the song leader there, if she ever cut an album, I would buy it in a second. She is unbelievable. Some very, very
great.
talented people there. It was great. So anyway, and then Ducks Unlimited, they're having their annual fundraising event coming up this weekend as well. And I know there's a summer camp going on at the Multi-Arts Center. There's a lot of things that'll keep people busy, kids busy in particular, this summer, all around the community if people want to take advantage of that. And then next week is Bike Night, first Tuesday of the month. I'm sure Amy Jo will be talking a little bit more about that.
She will. You know, they've got up those staggered perfectly.
I agree.
Because you had the Friday's food trucks and tunes.
Yes.
And then 2 weeks later, you've got that.
That's perfect.
So downtown's been hopping.
Yeah, it really has. We lucked out with the weather on that freewheel too.
Yeah.
Once again, Jim Brewer and Keith Reed and all those folks that really put a lot of work into that. Thank you so much. I talked to a lot of people that evening, and the next morning when I left here, there was a whole bunch of them out, just kind of wandering around. So I talked to a whole bunch of them, and they just had a great time.
Yep. And they had a party, I think, last Friday night.
They did.
So
Down here at District Bikes.
yeah. So anyway, there's Christy Morrison, and she's off to bring an airline to town.
Be okay.
That'd be
I'll be
great.
all right.